Okay, hey everybody. Welcome to another edition of Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David and I'm your host. And my co-host is Narada Wilson. Welcome to the set, Narada. And viewers, we're going to talk changes, some rule changes to the game on this show. And I have my posse. I have a posse, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. One referee or past referee, and I'll let him explain who he is when I introduce him, and 3 ex-players. So let me take time to introduce them all. Right sitting next to me is Alvin Henderson. Welcome to the set, Alvin.
Steve, it's always a pleasure to be here, and today we should have an interesting talk on refereeing and the decision and the rules over the several years.
Next to Alvin, I have, if you go to Point Fortin and you say, arguably the best player, that is not in Point. He is the best player that ever played the game from Point Fortin, Leroy DeLeon. Welcome to the set, Leroy.
Thanks, Steve. I'm not an ex-player. I'm a retired player.
Oh, you're retired?
Yes, I'm not ex.
So what are you doing in retirement now? What are you doing?
I'm coaching kids now with the youth level.
We're talking about actually doing, not what in your mind.
No, just absolutely nothing.
All right, just absolutely enjoying retirement.
Just enjoying my friends.
Right.
And just having a good time with them.
All right, and next to Leroy is Ramesh Ramdan, and Ramesh, you say what you are. You are ex or a present or whatever. Okay. Tell the viewers who you are.
All right. Well, former international referee for 15 years. First Caribbean referee to referee in a World Cup finals. Also was in charge of the referee development program since its inception in 2007 until my contract ended in 2011. I was then the head of refereeing department of TTFA until the last election, and now I am just sitting back and looking on.
Glad to have you, because you're going to have to referee this conversation here this morning with these guys. Especially the one I'm going to introduce now, George Romano. Welcome to the set, George.
Well, thank you, Steve. First, I would like to thank the Lord that I am able to be here, to be able to sit in a panel such as this. But thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. Thank you all for being here this morning. Tonight, I mean, this morning. Thank you all for being here. Let's do it that way. Let's talk about some rule changes of the game. And I know there is a whole bunch. We started back in the day when there was only 11 players play. There's no substitution. When did that come into effect? I bet none of you guys can tell me that. When did that start? When we started to have substitution in the game.
I don't remember at all.
Nobody remembers that, right? Ramesh, and you don't even know about that.
I didn't know that was prior to my introduction to the laws of the game. I didn't know that was the situation.
I would have to say probably, if I had to say, I'd say probably mid-60s.
Mid-60s?
Early to mid-60s. Probably I would say 1962, 63.
Well, I don't know either, but I knew there was a time when there was no substitution. Okay. I know there is. So now, how many substitutions are allowed now, presently? Well,
3, but it started with 2, of course, and then they introduced a 3rd substitution specific to the goalkeeper. Okay. So if the goalkeeper was injured and had to be replaced by a substitute goalkeeper, that was a special case. And then it went on to 3 across the board.
Okay. Guys, and again, don't let me dictate this conversation. It's barbershop discussion, right? You guys can jump in. So I want to start with one thing, though, penalty kicks. That is one of my pet peeves. So what's the rule changes on penalty kicks, and do you like it or do you not?
I don't really know the rule changes. The rule changes, I'll let him explain, and then I'll just jump in.
All right.
Go the goalkeepers.
Goalkeeper can move on the line, all this kind of stuff that we never had before.
Right.
Yeah, that's when the changes started. Okay, let's say there were 2 fundamental changes, one with the kicker and one with the goalkeeper. The kicker could have done all sorts of things prior to actually kicking the ball. Now, you see, your run-up is allowed. You could do anything within the run-up, but once you reach in a position of kick, you cannot alter anything. So you must go through. So there's long time you used to fake a kick, have the goalkeeper go in, and then you tap the ball in. So that was true. Now that was the goalkeeper was protected in a sense from not having to be deceived by the kicker. So that was a hard and fast rule that was brought in to prevent the kicker from
So
tricking.
Ramesh, you're saying that the run-up, you can still have a stop in your run-up?
In your run-up, yes. But when you reach, as I say,
I thought that you weren't allowed a stop in your run-up.
No, you
but
couldn't.
I'm seeing Neymar now with a definite stop in his
Right.
run-up.
right. So you can run, stop, but they say once you reach a kicking position, you cannot do anything in there. But once you plan that foot to kick, you must kick. That was the change.
But always like that. We can plant our foot and not kick.
Yeah, players do all sorts of things.
They'll make a swing around the ball and come back and heel
Yeah.
the ball and whatnot. Especially South Americans used to do that a lot.
Yeah, kick over the ball, but the ball's still there.
Yeah.
And as the goalkeeper, of course, had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He go left or right, you just tap it in. I actually referee games where that happened. Until that was introduced into the law. The goalkeeper initially had to stand on his line and don't move until the ball was kicked. Now, well, a while back, it was changed to the goalkeeper could move along the line before the ball is kicked. So he could actually shuffle along the line until the ball is kicked.
As players, guys, Leroy and Alvin and George, isn't that real difficult? Because a goalkeeper could stand wherever he wanted on that line. Before he was dead center
That's right.
and couldn't move. Now he can shuffle along and stand wherever he wants.
No, well, I honestly think it's good for the game because it now gives the goalkeeper a little added boost in trying to save the game, save a penalty kick. Because prior to that, when he had to stand still, his chances of saving a well-taken
almost
penalty kick was almost nil. But now at least the odds are a little bit in his favor, and the whole exercise of a penalty kick is not as sure as it used to be. Even the great Messi has difficulty with penalty kicks because of that rule, and he's not the best penalty kicker, and he's the greatest footballer, in my opinion, that we have seen in the last 50 years.
Well, he's not the great Messi. He's Messi, the greatest Pelé.
Well, that's a whole program.
Okay.
But penalty kicks were a foregone conclusion for a goal. I think it's a nice incentive for the goalkeeper and for teams that it is not interpreted any longer as an obvious goal, and there's a chance that the goalkeeper may save it. Some excitement for the fans.
That's exactly where I was going with that. I think it's perfect for the fans. And as a kicker, now up here, mental, you have problems. If you're not confident in your ability, you have problems.
You have pressure, yes.
And I mean, I would welcome that right now because if I'm going here, I would not change. I don't care. If he saves it, he saves it.
Right.
But I also think that pace and timing of the kick is very important now, and it's an advantage to kicker because if I know I could put that ball on the right side on the ground at a pace that is unsavable, and the keeper happens to slide, my timing have to be, hey, is he going now? If he's going now, how quick can I get to the ball?
Right.
Because we don't have to wait till he's any part of the goal. He could go where he wants, but we could kick it where we want. So I think penalty kick now it becomes timing and pace.
But also, I don't think, back in the day, we used to say, put it on the ground. It's hard for him to get there. But I think, no, if it's in the air, you have a better chance, don't you?
Well, I think a penalty
Because-
in our days was I kicking it, you saving it. I kicking it the best way I know how and where I want to put it. If you're a good goalkeeper, you save it.
Save it.
And it depends on how good he was. Because if he was good, a goalkeeper on the ground, I don't know why you would want to put it on the ground. Because you knew the players you were playing against. So I was going up against, let's say, John Michael, for example, and he's a good penalty kicker. He's good on the ground. I don't want to kick it on the ground, but he's good at it, you know?
Yeah, but you as a kicker, you have to have confidence in your ability also. I don't care if you go left or right. If you hit it the way he's supposed to hit it, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, but the chances of getting a penalty kick in the upper part of the goal where it's extremely difficult for him to dive upwards, the chances of doing that as opposed to keeping it close to the ground or on the ground are much more, it's a much more difficult skill to do. And it's more likely to fall in a goalkeeper's frame on his arc with his hands, so it's easier for him to save if you get it wrong. If you get it wrong, it's goalkeeper height, as they call it, goalkeeper height, and he can make an easy save. If it's down in the corner and low on the ground, it's a much more difficult save.
I don't know. I don't have the final word on this one.
I think it sort of equals the playing field because the kicker usually would have, he's not moving from a standstill position. He has the opportunity to run up, put some momentum behind the shot. Before was starting from zero, more or less. So now he has the opportunity that if he's going to make a jump up, he has some sort of exertion he could put out. He's moving left to right. He sort of could go to the different angles. It's just for him now to be a little smarter as to how far, you know, he should go. But I think it equals the playing field in terms of the momentum he could build in executing his action.
I'd just like to come in here because I'm asking Ramesh a question here. The kick from the penalty spot and the penalty kick, could you tell us the difference? Because one of the things that people don't seem to recognize is that the kicks that are taken after to decide a game that is
Result, yeah.
in a tie are different from a penalty kick.
Yeah.
But if a penalty kick is kicked and hits the post and it rebounds and it hits the goalkeeper, as it did with, I think, a Brazil game in the 80.
The goalkeeper dived and it came off him
Yes.
and then went to the goal, right?
So what is the difference, and how do referees interpret a kick from the penalty spot versus a penalty kick?
So, kick, during the normal course of play, a penalty kick is given. Whatever happens, the play continues.
Yeah.
A kick from the penalty mark to determine the result of a game. Once the ball changes direction, that's the end of the kick.
So if a ball hits the post,
Comes out, that's it. And I think that was introduced after that incident.
Yeah.
So the goalkeeper dive and hit the post and come back and hit the goalkeeper and go in the goal. No goal.
As soon as the ball changes direction, comes out, that's the end of the kick.
because people were saying it's in the same sequence
No.
and it
Correct.
should be a goal.
Right.
But that is now not how it's interpreted at this time.
That's
if it hits the post and it changes direction
That's it.
and it
That's
comes
it.
back,
Null and void.
as soon as it hits the post, that's
Referee
the end of
stops the
it.
play.
I got one for you. The guy kicks the ball. It hit the crossbar. I saw it on somewhere. The goalkeeper going celebrating. The ball goes up in the air and drops and start bouncing back to the goal. Nobody.
Yeah, but was that during the game or?
No.
Kicks on the penalty mark?
Yeah.
No, well, like I said, the same thing applies
Same thing
here.
applies.
As the ball hits the bar, comes down, it doesn't go over the line. It doesn't come down over the line. That's the end of the kick.
That's the end of it. Okay.
I believe
all right.
I saw that same kick too, and
Yeah,
I was
correct.
questioning it.
Yeah, I
and-
saw
and
that
they,
as well.
They actually awarded the PK.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Offside. I want you to explain offside to us, Ramesh,
Okay.
and then we will trash out offside a little bit.
So the basic offside law from in time immemorial, as far as I recall, has never changed.
Right.
Which is, if an opponent is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second to last opponent,
Second to last. That's two. Okay.
he's offside, in an offside position. So I know I say is offside because that is where it started.
With offside position.
Once he was there, he was offside. Offside position it came in after. Offside position is not an offense. But offside position and interference in the play or with an opponent became an offense, not the position. You understand? So that was the first fundamental change in the interpretation of the offside. They abandoned the idea of whether you are ahead, regardless of where the ball is or where the opponents are. The assistant, the linesman back then is to go up. This guy is ahead, according to the rule.
So they got that what you call offside position.
Position. But they changed that.
They changed that.
And they said that offside position in itself is not an offense.
Right.
There has to have interference. And now they have one further participation in the play or interfering with an opponent,
Right.
the particular play. So you could be offside position anyway. Once it's not, in fact, you can be close to the play, but you're not interfering. Your body language suggests that I am not interfering. Then unless you have distracted an opponent, then the assistant referee cannot rule you interfering.
That's still argumentative, but okay.
All right, but it has gone further again this
Okay.
year.
Go ahead.
The addition to that is it was at the moment the ball is played by one of your own,
Mm-hmm.
and you are ahead. Near your opponent's goal line, you are in offside position. Now, at the moment the ball is played, and this is a recent change, if a defender who has an opportunity to play the ball or challenge for the ball and splices the ball after it is played by one of your own, right? And it goes to someone in that offside position who picks up the ball, he should not be declared offside because this player made an error, lack of skill or whatever. So that is the latest addition to the offside now interpretation. But the law itself has not changed.
Yeah, but I think that causes a lot of problems
Right.
because offside is to be judged
At the moment the ball is played.
at the moment the ball is played.
That was taken out.
Hmm?
That was when the ball is played. It say not at the moment. When the ball is played by one of your own,
Yes,
it has gone to that. So a simple tweak.
yes.
At the moment the ball is played by one of your own, used to exist.
Yeah.
Now they say after the ball is played by one of your own. After the ball has been played by one of your own. So it doesn't say at the moment the ball is played, which means it could move, traveling circumference, as the case may be. So it allowing you for the ball to be played, traveling circumference, I rushing in to charge down on the pass, miss kick, right? And I had control of my body to clear the ball, to intercept the ball, but I blundered. The lack of skill or whatever it is.
Yes,
And
I have seen that happen recently
Right.
in one of the EPL games. But
Right.
what I'm asking now, how are you expecting your referee's assistant on the line to judge the moment that he considers that the ball has been played?
Okay, so when the ball is played, you line up, the assistant referee line up who's
And he
offside
sees
position.
he sees a man in an offside position,
Right.
and the ball is played by one of his own.
Right,
His flag has to go up,
right. No,
and the
well,
referee has to then
All right,
determine.
well, let's hold for a minute. I'll take a break.
all right.
You think about it, and we'll come back and address that.
Okay.
Viewers, we'll be right back after the short break.
We are inspired. We are practiced. We learn. We have challenges. We are supported. We persevere. And we shine. This is our commitment to you.
Okay, welcome back, viewers. Guys, we were talking about offside, and for me, I think it's the dumbest rule. I think it should go back to back in the day. Once you're in an offside position, you're offside because it's so complicated. And viewers, you'll see what I'm talking about when the guys discuss it. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Ramesh or Alvin, you guys were in.
Well, we were talking about situation because I think now the referee's assistant on the line, he will have great difficulty in deciding when he should raise his flag because he used to take his clue from the time that the ball was played, last played by a player of his own. But now he kind of has to wait to see not only where the ball is, if the ball is going to that man, but if a defender hasn't had an opportunity to play the ball or make what we call make a play with the ball, which will no longer make the player in the previous offside position offside.
It always makes the linesman, or what you call it,
Referee's assistant.
referee's assistant, look stupid when they play a ball
Yeah.
and he can't put his flag up until the guy puts it.
Until the play is
Gets it.
complete, yeah.
If the guy don't touch it, he don't put his flag up. So, and then people say, oh, now you put your flag up.
Yeah.
But this is when he has to put it up.
Yeah, but that's why I guess the rule changed. As long as you engage, that you become in an offside position, and this is why Suarez from Barcelona became so effective at what he does. When a defender or the opposing team has the ball and they play it back to their goalkeeper, although he may have been in an offside position.
Right.
You know, you would fool him 25 times, but that 1 or 2 times that you don't realize that he's there and you just play back to the goalkeeper, he'll pick it up and score.
George Suarez didn't invent that. I'm sure.
No, I'm not saying that he
I'm sure Steve scored many goals, and Dilly scored many goals from doing that in the 60s. So,
Right.
Any good forward, any good
Exactly.
forward, knowing the law, use that as a way to try and get goal, because you knew that it was a defender who had played the ball and that you couldn't be in an offside position.
Right.
Exactly. And again, if you're playing with your teammates and you know that they're compact at the back and the ball can't go forward, you as a striker anticipating that the next pass is to the goalkeeper. So that makes you a quality player right there. But, I mean, offside is a tricky situation, you know, and you may be in an offside position on the left side, but the ball is not even on the left side. And that's why I guess they changed that rule, you know. And sometimes even teams now, even I do it in my secondary school team, I have 2-3 players stand offside because the defenders have to, hey, what if we make a mistake? They're onside, you know? So now their defending become lackadaisical and we pick up on it.
Yeah, you talk about Suarez. I'll just mention Romario. And if people go back to those films of Romario, he was excellent
At that.
because the Brazilian team played the ball through their wide attacking wing backs.
Correct.
And Romario would be 10 yards in an offside position and be walking back slowly. And he knows the ball's not coming to him. And the ball would go wide. And when they get ahead of him, he simply turns around because he's behind the ball. And he's now 2 yards ahead of the last defender. And he's not in an offside position. And if you go back to those films, you'll see Romario using the rules to his benefit all the time. And I always tell young players, if you know the rules, you can take advantage of them and become a better player because you know the rules of the game.
And you see it every day now, because when you have a free kick, a spot kicker we call it, direct and indirect, everybody line up and you mark your player. But as the players start running to the ball, everybody starts going. And the player that you assume was offside, you already met up with him, as Alvin said.
So after all of that's been said, isn't it they should go back to the old rule, you're in an offside position, you're offside?
Well, I think it just makes the work of the assistant referee more difficult.
It's about time.
And I know there will be a lot of bad judgment in this World Cup with that, especially with that new introduction there, with the player having an opportunity to clear the ball or to intercept,
right,
and slices it.
Right.
There will be some issues where they have to call on the VAR.
Right.
A lot, but also too with the offside, there was a change as well with what is ahead, right? that came last year, I believe, or a year before, where your hand, if your hand is ahead at the second and last opponent, it is not considered because for some reason you can't play the ball with your hand. That was the idea. But if you any part of your feet, your knee, your chest, or your head is ahead, only then. But you know, when you run and you see
Right.
your hand out there trying to chase down, and your rest of your body
is behind.
is in line or behind, this should not be called offside.
Let's to close this. I want you guys to tell me: do you think that? What do you think this rule should be? Back in the day, it should be like it was back in the day, or you like what's happening now with this offside rule?
There was a discussion. Are you going?
No, you go ahead
Right.
first.
There was a discussion at one time by FIFA that there will be no offside from the penalty line to the center half. Only beyond the penalty area line. Which one's
You mean
parallel.
the box, the 18-yard box? What do
Yeah.
you mean the penalty
Yeah.
line? The 18-yard
Yeah.
box.
So from the 18-yard box, the top of it, to the center,
Goal line.
the halfway line, that they say
No
nobody
offside.
should be offside there. You can't be offside there. Only if you go beyond that line.
But this is something they're thinking about.
Which will put the assistant referee now will no longer have to run all the way to the half.
Right.
He will just be running from the top of the 18-yard to the goal line
To the goal line.
and judging offside. And once you're ahead when the ball is played wherever, you should be declared because you're in a position to take advantage of any situation where in that 18-yard
You're
area
attacking.
to the goal line. So that, I believe, they need to revisit that
That's proposed.
and put it back on the table and stop complicating the offside. With
Go
all
back to
these
the old day.
Ron, let me tell you something. Dilly and Steve, if you remember, the NASL played a 35-yard line offside.
Right.
Right.
Remember?
Yes.
We played and George, you remember too, we played a 35-yard offside line up in the U.S. The U.S.,
Okay.
a number of innovations that we played under in the U.S. have now come to
Relevant.
fruition.
Correct.
The multiple
Did it in the
balls,
ASL
the
also.
multiple
Right.
balls
Okay.
was an innovation in the U.S. When we first went up, fellas from Trinidad used to be kicking the ball in the stand and taking a rest,
Right.
and another ball was heading down the road.
Right.
And the U.S. had a 35-yard line offside rule. And we played with a 35-yard line offside rule for quite a few seasons.
Yeah.
In fact, I
All
played
my
with it
NASL career.
until I finished playing, and you played a lot longer, so you should have known. So that rule is coming back. Now, I heard you say that some people are saying that offside should be abolished. In fact, Van Basten, who is on a rules committee with FIFA, he's saying that there should be no offside, and people will eventually adjust. In hockey, they said there's no offside in hockey, and the players have adjusted.
Correct.
The players have adjusted. They say what it does. It helps the play to be more free flowing, and then there are more goals in the games as a result. It'll be interesting for some league to play somewhere in the world with no offside and see what happens.
Because added to that, FIFA at one time felt the game was getting boring and too defensive. And they were talking about, that's when the issue of the offside came up. They were talking about even widening the goal posts so that more goals will score. They tinker with the ball and they put something in the ball to make it more difficult to save and more movement and so on. Back in the day, you had to kick a lace ball, eh? That would be much, right?
The widening of the goal is another American thing because they wanted to see more goals.
So all those things were introduced into the thing to get the game more attractive and more goals and so on. And I believe they need to come back to that offside thing that was discussed. Maybe not abolish the whole offside rule, but use it from the 18-yard line to the halfway line where they be exempted.
Okay, before we close on offside, I want you to clear this up to the viewers as well. If you're taking a penalty kick and the goalkeeper bats the ball down and it comes back to you, you can put it in. But if it hit the post and come back to you, you can't put it in.
Yeah, because he will be playing the ball twice.
That's playing ball twice. All right,
Any
and that
other
would
player
be
can
an
do that.
offside. Or
No,
what?
it's not offside, it's playing the ball twice. There's a rule.
Oh, that's a rule, playing ball
Yeah,
twice.
kicker of any free kick cannot play the ball twice.
Unless it's
Before it's
touched by another player. No,
But any
In
other
this
player
case,
could hit
the
it.
bar, if it comes with the goalkeeper, yeah, he could hit it.
but we have used trick penalty kicks. And I see Suarez and Messi doing it the other day. They did it
Oh,
once.
just play it forward.
Where you play the ball forward
right? And
And
somebody
then
run
somebody
on,
runs in from
Runs
outside
in
the box and takes up the ball and sticks it in the net.
right?
Now the goalkeeper, he's glued, he's running along the line.
Yeah.
And if you would take the chance, if for a referee who knows the rules, you just push the ball forward or just touch the ball so that it moves.
Yeah.
Because that's the rule, the touch. You know, before we used to have ball must travel its circumference.
Yeah.
But now,
Must
all
move.
you have to do is touch it so it moves. So if I am taking the penalty kick and I walk up as if I am good, referee gives the whistle. Referee gives the whistle to start the play.
yeah.
And I walk up to the ball like I'm going to adjust it. Everybody's on their heels, and I just touch the ball.
Just move it, yeah.
Somebody
leave it
could come from outside the box, pick up the ball, and he has as many touches as he wants.
It's strange that I've
to
not
put the
seen
ball
that employed in any football match.
Suarez and Messi did it recently.
They did it?
But I want to say that you're not seeing it because the officials don't really know of it. Because we did it in Pennsylvania. Our secondary school or high school, as we call them, had a corner kick. One player went up and we practiced it the
Yeah.
day before and did the same thing. Alvin just tapped it and he walked away and he said, "No, let me take it. Let me take it."
Yeah.
It went up,
And
took
dribble
the
it.
ball, come right into the goal and scored. And the
Yeah.
referee looked at us. No.
But
So,
well, referees were caught with that, and I think that was a World Cup or some big league game where the player taking the corner kick just kicked the ball and left it in there. The corner was already taken, so a player just was just there, running on and start dribbling the ball into the box. So as far as the law is concerned, the corner was taken.
Let me beat up referees since we're on that right now, because back in the day, the referees used to say the ball have to be in the circle. Like if you're taking a penalty kick or a corner kick or whatever, now it just has to be touching the line, and this whole ball has to be completely over the line for it to be illegal or outside,
Out of play.
whatever, out of play or whatever. But back in the day, that didn't happen.
Well, like I said, off air, that referees were not accurate with the law as it says, and they didn't use any sorts of judgment outside of the hard and fast rule. They said it must be placed on the mark. They used to insist that it is on the mark, even as you pointed out, there may be a pool of water in the mark.
Right.
So when I was refereeing, and that did happen in one of the instances, they pulled back the ball just to the edge, but the part of the ball was still over the spot, the actual spot.
Right.
And nothing was wrong with that. I never used to allow them to take it beyond the mark, because it'd be closer. But behind, if you wish to pull it back, because I don't expect a player to kick up a penalty from a hole, a ball in a hole. So I used to allow them to bring it to the edge once the ball is.
Yeah, but referees said, no, you can't put it there. It has to go in the circle.
And that is wrong. That was wrong.
That it was wrong, right?
Yeah, that was not in the true spirit of the game.
well, that's the problem that players have and fans have to watching a game with officiating, because as our official referee here said, and most coaches know that if you put the ball, you can't advance the ball forward, especially on a penalty kick, because it's marked for the amount of yards that you're taking it. So you can't advance that. So you can't have a penalty kick that is 11 yards or 11 3/4. But you could have one that's 12 1/4, 12 1/2. So they allow you to bring it back. Some just don't want you to do anything because that's where it's supposed to be. On the other restarts all over the field, you could put it like on the corner kicks on the line, as you notice in all the EPL games and stuff. Guys put it on the edge of the line. So if the line is here, the ball is over here, but it has to be touching the line. Yeah. But again, it is the discretion of the referee. And sometimes you go with it, sometimes you argue with it, and sometimes you just got to say, I don't want the referee again.
So what we're saying is the rule, because I thought that rule was changed. We're saying the rule is not changed with the ball has to be completely over it was always the ball has to be completely over the line for it to be out of play. I thought partially over the line.
The entire
Because
ball.
especially in the penalty kicks.
Right.
That was and corner kicks, that was my interpretation.
I've always noted to be the entire ball must cross the line, and to further get a referee to make the right decision, they say you must see daylight between the line and the ball.
And what has helped in that is the goal line technology.
Yes.
Goal line technology has really helped in determining if a goal has been scored or not.
That's correct.
Because remember in the World Cup with Frank Lampard,
Right.
England got knocked out of the World Cup because a goal that we all thought had scored, when it was first kicked, it was denied.
Denied.
And if goal line technology was in use on that occasion, it would have surely shown that that it was a goal. But we've been going back to World Cup since '66, and England had their chance with when they played the Germans and Jeff Hurst's goal.
20 or 30 years later.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are still talking about whether
Poetic
that goal
justice.
truly scored or not. Did the whole ball cross the line? We will never know.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't, because that's why I keep saying, that's why I keep saying the ball, back in the day, the whole ball did not. The majority of the ball did go.
And that was
outside.
that was a retribution of the referees back then.
Yeah, but you see, in those times, the field, the lining of the field, marking of the field was actually considered the field. Just like when you take a throw in those days, you can put your foot on that white line. For that, you put your foot on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to come out of the field to be able to be effective, just like in the goals. It had to go over the goal line to be a goal.
Well, they owe me some calls because I know, ball wasn't completely over,
Yeah.
and it went there. They owe me some calls.
Yeah, yeah. So
Anyhow, no, I didn't say you. Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right. Yellow cards. Back in the day, you can get a yellow card on every single game. And there was no accumulation for no suspension. And again, is that a rule change or is that something other than
well,
that?
suspension after receiving 2 yellow cards was never any rule to start with.
Okay.
It was a competition rule that if you receive 2 yellow cards in any tournament, you will miss the subsequent game. So it had nothing to do with the laws, really. It is not in the law. The law just speaks to yellow card offenses, and that's the end of that.
Ramesh, could you tell us what the yellow card offenses are? Because they're specific. And if you could go through the yellow card offenses, I think that would help us and our wider audience about what the yellow card and red card offenses are.
Okay, so there are 3 instances of judgment in terms of tackles.
Yeah.
I say, well, let's say 4. There's a fair tackle, there's a careless tackle, there's a reckless tackle, and the final one is a tackle using excessive force. Those are the card offense. So fair tackle, of course, no foul. Careless is a simple little touch, a little trip and attempt to play the ball, you know, just a normal foul. There's no malice, there's no intention. All the intention was removed from the laws of the game, but we still have to use that in our mindset as, did he intentionally go to do that? Then there's the one where reckless is there's an element of danger, but not sufficient to be termed serious or excessive. So it's a normal tackle. Okay, I'm going to tackle, and if I miss, I will just cock back my foot and take him down. Right? That is amounts to reckless. And the other side of it now, if you come charging in and you use force, danger, like showing your studs, right, and speed, that you don't need all of that to dispossess a player from the ball. So FIFA is very stern on that. If you use speed and the distance from which you're coming, and you're flying in, you're coming, flying in with your 2 foot, I mean all the force is there. Anytime you touch a player with that, red card.
Let's pick that bone when we come back. We need to take a break. Viewers, we'll be right back after the short break.
Okay.
We are inspired. are practiced. We learn. We have challenges. We are supported. We persevere. And we shine. This is our commitment to you.
Okay, viewers, welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about the definition, I would say, what's a dangerous tackle or what's a yellow card offense, a red card offense, or whatever. So let's let's pick it apart now. Go ahead, Ramesh, I'll let you continue.
Before you go, one of the things is intent. The last word used with force. But the referee also have to look at the intent. Before that's the way I see it. Before you give somebody a red card, you're talking about speed, you're talking about
Force.
but you also have to look at the intent, whether this guy really intent or whether he's going in there strong to win a ball.
Right.
And end up, hurting the guy.
Good question, because I said that intention was removed from the law. There's another change that took place.
They took that out.
Intention. And it is the manner in which you play. So you could have intention or you could not have intention. The manner in which you play is what the referee has to now judge. Manner of play.
Meaning, well, if I'm a bruiser and Alvin is a more calm player, they would call it harder on me because my intentions are different.
Well, if you fall, no, well, forget the intention. Like I say, intention should not be in the equation because it was removed from the law.
Right, okay.
The law is to say if a player intentionally do this and do that.
Right.
So the referee now had to judge then intention. Right? And now he's not judging intention at all. He's judging the manner of play, which how you play.
All right.
So that crystallizes everything into it. That's why they say careless, reckless, or excessive. It doesn't matter intention or not. Right? But it's good for some referee to actually see that a player commit a foul, but innocently really try to get the ball. Right? And therefore would weigh whether he should be cautioned or not cautioned. And you could use that as a yardstick to promote your game in a nice way, let players feel a little, I mean, you want to play free sometimes, and you can't be calling everything. So you establish a level in the game, and it's okay, I will not be calling that unless I see real intention. Although intention is removed from the law, mind you, I don't want to be misinterpreted. So what we're judging is not intention. As a referee, what you're judging, plain and simple, is the manner of play.
Yeah,
and
but
what is the result of your challenge?
simply a guy could put two fingers on your shirt as long as he's ahead of you going with the ball and you try to pull him back.
That is yellow card. Why? Because you're not supposed to use your hand to play football.
But
And
they do all the time.
if you put your hand out, whether you do that to pull a player back, that is called preventing an opportunity. Now, not all holding is cautionable either. You had a little tug, close-in tug, and so on. That is not considered. You give a free kick, full stop. But if you deny the player an opportunity to move forward or move into attacking position, or even the player run off the ball if you hold him and he's running into open space, that is card, yellow card. If you actually pull a player from moving forward and stop an attack, right? The operational word is stopping attack or stopping a promising play. build up, all of that is where the card come in. But the normal little tug, if I with you and you stand up here and everything, and I pull in your shirt here, it's just a simple free kick. Because you ain't denying that he ain't going away all together, even kill as they say. And he ain't really preventing him so much from a promising play or a build up. As opposed to him with the ball here, and a man making a run there, and a player off the ball does this. Card, clearly.
Yeah, but you guys would not believe how much holding and tugging goes on in the game.
Close contact, yeah.
Yeah, but close.
No, but I personally feel that the referees have not clamped down sufficiently on that holding and pulling and shirt pulling. It's too much now. It's gone excessively in the last few years, and the referees are not clamping down sufficiently, in my opinion, on the pulling
and the card and the instruction of the referees for holding was introduced for that very reason. In that if a player gone and your hand is out there, there's no way that you should escape a card. Once that hand is out there and it pulls, like I say, the only chance you have really is a little close contact holding and pulling, which is a foul. But the card must be preventing the player from advancing, promising advance, promising build up off the ball. Those things are instructions, straight card.
One more real quick. Goalkeeper gets the ball, and he keeps it for half a day.
And that's 5 seconds, right?
6 seconds.
No, it's more than that.
I know, but it's supposed to be 5 seconds.
I checked 10 seconds,
Keep the
12
ball,
seconds,
and
15
he
seconds.
for half a day he had the ball.
Yeah.
And is there a rule?
Yeah, there's a rule. If a
But
player...
it's not enforced.
No, it isn't, apparently. I see players holding ball longer than the 6 seconds rule. A player, you know all the thing about back pass and bouncing the ball and turning it out to a player and receiving it back and so on. That was moved out, right?
Right.
So the only thing concerning goalkeeper and the ball is you cannot hold the ball if it is played back to you by one of your players, unless it is headed or chest with the feet. If a player plays the ball back to his own goalkeeper with his feet, he cannot hold it. He could trap it.
What about his thigh?
Once he
What about
picks
his
it up,
thigh? What about his thigh?
No, not his leg. No,
Any part of the leg?
Any part of the leg.
But they would call you if I scoop it up and head it back to my goalkeeper.
That is circumventing the law.
Okay, well, they'll call you.
And
But
that is punishable. The offense is not punishable, but there's another addition to that. It's circumventing the law.
Okay.
The law says you can't play with your thing. You can play with your head, so you flick it up and you do so. That offense is circumventing the law.
I got you.
So it's no longer that. It's you being penalized for circumventing the law.
But we just said before how Romario and those guys used the law to their advantage. If I use it to my advantage, that should not be.
No, but it's in the law. No players could do that. What you're talking about. So that's why they put it as another addition into the law. If that is the law, you cannot play back the ball and for the goalkeeper to play. But also, if you choose to flick it up and do that, it is stated in the law that is circumventing the law.
But I'm saying we're using the law to our advantage. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, but circumventing is also a law now. Circumventing is also put in the law. So that is like another law.
Oh, Lord.
It never gets easier.
But if you have a player though, like the late Desmond Davis or Rugged Tom as we call them, he's was a very physical player, a defender, and most attackers knew, and Alvin, if you ever had a chance to play against him, you would know.
A few times.
If you had to pass Desmond Davis, he let you know the ball could pass, but you're not passing. He's not coming for you, but he's literally coming for the ball. But his skill level as a defender allow him to stop your progress. So, I mean, when the referees call, he got the ball, but he also got the player. How could he have been getting so many cards?
Oh, he did get cards?
Well, he got plenty in training. You know?
Deservingly.
Deservingly, yes and no, because his skill level as a defender, Steve, made him that great as a defender because of what he knew.
No.
Yeah.
I have a mark on my face to prove I'm Rugged
You
Tom.
you put your face too low for the ball.
No. Rugged Tom, bicycle kick, I go in for a head. So, no, Rugged Tom was just Rugged Tom.
That's right.
He was not...
That's how he got the name.
And the various changes in the law was to deal with players who engage in brutality rather than playing and displaying skills. So since way back when, since I started refereeing, I know they were trying to stamp out brutality in the game. And look how many times Maradona was got kicked down. Look at Pele. How many times you get kicked down and nothing was done, right? Just because it's this foolish thing that they had, in the referee's opinion, that was okay.
Yeah,
Right?
because if he gets the ball, like, for example, Mario, for example, he is a great attacker. I'm a defender. I don't want him to beat me and score, but I notice on the sideline, his foot is on the ball.
Right.
I know my skill level that I could come now and clear it out, but I don't have to clear because it's on the sideline. I could just tap it out. I using what I think will get the ball out the quickest way, and in my opinion, to get him injured at the quickest way. But my intention is not to injure him. My intention is to get the ball from him. And the referee would give you that card because he believed your intentions was to hurt him. No, but if he put his foot like that, he knows that's what's going to come. Steve, you know that. You're going up for a header. You don't know who's running behind you. They might hit you in your back.
And that is now questionable.
Exactly.
And depends on the effect of it, you can be sent off.
Ramesh, there was I'm trying to remember which World Cup it was, and it may have been 1998 or 2002, where FIFA said that they're really going to clamp down on tackles from behind.
Okay.
And we saw in the initial early part of that World Cup, red cards being given out,
Correct.
you know, very frequently. And then all of a sudden the red cards.
All right. Well, I was there. I was actually in the room.
Which one it was?
That was France 98.
France 98.
Blatter.
Well, let me just come with my question now. What has happened to that situation? Because we are seeing now where people are heading away from players, and right now coaches and teams know that it's a key part of getting the upper hand in football is that transition play, and people are using that professional foul, kicking someone down from behind, and they're still only getting yellow cards. They've softened the punishment. Why? Why has that happened?
A player, because the instruction given to us at the seminar before the World Cup was that the president, Sepp Blatter, who should not have put his mouth there in the first place, said that there's too much injuries in football, there's too much brutality in football, and we can't seem to stop it. In this World Cup, tackling from behind is red card. He said that. The instructors in FIFA said instruction to you in this World Cup is that we will not allow tackling from behind to go unpunished. Okay, so referees went away with that. And anytime anybody tackled, there was some referees did some real foolishness in that World Cup because they were just going by that instruction. Like nothing else in the game mattered, but looking out for tackles from behind. Anytime a tackle from behind come in, red cards coming up. There was this Colombian referee, I felt sorry for him after, who gave out 7 red cards in a game. Right? And he was actually carrying out the instructions of the official, the instructor. So that was a sailboat. It was instruction before, and after that game, they decided, hey, we got to get back in the room. This not working. It gone to the other level now, where players can even challenge for the ball. And they say, okay, the challenge had to be such where it is brutal, where it is hard, and things before. Anyway, any direction, whether it's behind, from the side, or from the front, once the tackle is brutal or denying a player to move, advance with the ball or anything like that, you judge it. So it went back to normal judging of tackles. And tackle from behind was thrown out. And in fact, it's still thrown out. And that's how they come with the careless, reckless, excessive. It could be excessive from any direction. Whether it could be excessive from the front too. A man running at you and you come into him and he just jump at you with both feet. That is not from behind. Back then, that would have get away. You break a man foot from in front and you would have gotten away with that at that point in the World Cup because it wasn't from behind. So that's how they balance it off with the careless, reckless, excessive.
Okay, I've got 1 minute. Anybody want to summarize what should or should not be in? Or have anything to say to the young upcoming players out there?
This was educational for me.
You learn.
Yes, I would have to say that, yes. And I wish there are a lot of people that would be watching this so that they could experience my same experience, the experience that I'm having right now. Because there's a lot of things that I did not know, and I used to play the game a lot that I know now. And what Ramesh was saying, we need to keep up with the education part of sports, period. Not only refereeing, but the playing aspect of the game too. I know we have coaches here, George, Alvin, coach, I coach. I don't know if you could.
No, I don't know. No,
I could do
No, as
anything.
an agent. No, I don't.
He's a,
Steve, I'd just like to say quickly that I feel all coaches should include referees
correct.
as part of
Yes.
of
Yes.
their program,
Correct.
talking to players on a regular basis,
Yeah.
because they can learn so much and use the rules to their advantage. Referee should be an integral part of any coaching program that players are going through.
Very, very
Okay.
And FIFA, second, FIFA also is agreeing with you. You know, they have developed a actual summary of all the interpretation of the laws and have it to the players. This is for players.
correct.
So a player do need to know the rudiments of the law per se or the law. If I take that video, that teaching material, and show you, and a room full of players, they will understand how the law operate without knowing the law.
All right, we run out of time, guys. Okay, we got to stop now, but I really appreciate you guys for all the insight. For the younger players, you guys need to know the laws of your game before you play, because it's important to use it to your advantage, like the guy said. So thank you, SCTN, for giving us the opportunity. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thank you, panel, for being here. Appreciate you, everybody. Do have a Facebook page. Check us out, and we do have an email address, fieldofdreamstt@gmail.com. You can drop us a line. The show is ended. Go in peace. My name is Steve David. Good night.